Have a shalom, everybody. It is the day. It is the Daughters of YAH 7-day reset. We are gearing up for our 7 days of plant-based nutrition, resetting our minds, our bodies, and our bellies. So this is exciting. I hope you are all excited, and I hope you're prepared because it's going to be a nice journey. We're in it together, and it's going to be super fun. The actual first day starts tomorrow. So today is to have Q&A, any questions, let Abiyah kind of share some basic instructions with you and to make sure you are ready and off to the races. So really quick, I am just going to say a quick prayer and we're going to get right into it. So Abiyah, we just thank you for this marvelous day. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for this being the first day of a new day of the rest of our lives, Abiyah. We are ready and prepared and gearing up to do something that may not be new, but something that we are committing to do for ourselves. And we pray that it is pleasing to you because we are vessels of honor, Abiyah. We just thank you and for the fortitude and the willpower and the commitment to stay the course. We thank you for this being an enriching time. We thank you for this being a renewed time. And we thank you for being a resetting time, Abiyah. And we just thank you for all of these things in your name and in the precious name of your dear son, Yahushua HaMashiach. We most humbly pray. Selah, hallelujah. All right. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. Just so you can see what our thread should look like at this point. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Oops, wrong one. Yes, thank you. There we go. All right. So this was our first thread here. As you can see, we started a new thread. It's about to go down. This is our link for today's chat. This is Abiyah's text for today. This is going to be day 1 here. All right. And then after Abiyah's text, every day you will see a day 1 scriptural meditation and a day 1 healthy movement. Those will be the 3 texts you get every day. And each day will have 3 texts. 1 from Abiyah and 2 from me. All right. So if you are following in order, you will see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all of those things. All right. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's not that complicated. If you have any questions, of course, our numbers are literally in that first text in the thread. Just scroll up to the top, text us with any questions or concerns. All right. So with that being said, Abiyah, I will let the floor be yours and you can give us a skinny, get us started. And if you guys have any questions, now's the time.
No pressure, right?
Absolutely.
Hello, everyone. I am so honored and I am so grateful and thankful for this wonderful opportunity. So thank you, Tiffany, so much for reaching out to me, because by you reaching out to me, you kind of pushed me to get things done a lot sooner than I would have on my own. So I want to thank you first and foremost, definitely. But I am super excited, family. I am super excited to push this out, to get this out there, and to have 12 participants. That is, hallelujah, overjoyed for sure. And I just want to first let you know my foundation of why I created a 7-day reset. I created the 7-day reset because, yeah, I do cooking demonstrations on YouTube, but I was just kind of feeling like, yeah, they're watching the videos, okay. But Whole Foods can really change your life. It really can. And so I wanted to figure out a way how to get people to actually eat and taste and smell and touch and be more involved with the food. So a 7-day reset came to mind, and this is a way where I can get people to taste the food, but not only that, be more attentive to their own bodies, because change doesn't start by someone telling you, oh well, this is high in fat, or this is high in sodium, this is not good for you, ultra processed foods is not good for you. I mean, we don't really need another lecture, right? We want to get our hands dirty. I'm a hands-on person, and I think a lot of people are maybe a little bit more hands-on too. So that's what this whole reset is designed, is to get you in the kitchen, is to get you involved and taking actions towards whatever your personal goal is. You know why you decided to participate, and that will be your foundation. That will be your why. And your why is going to be so important throughout these next 7 days, because there are times where you're going to feel, especially in the beginning, you're going to feel tired. Your body, I'm not sure your current dietary lifestyle, but your body may not be used to eating just whole foods. So your body is going to adjust. So at the beginning, initially, you may feel tired. You may have hunger cues. You may experience mild headaches. Some other things that I wrote down, but your body is going to adjust, and that's totally absolutely normal, because your body is not used to just consuming whole foods. And that's why I also created a journal that is still in the making, but you guys have the bulk of it because you can't edit it online. Either you're going to have to print it out for now, or just use the prompts and look at the journal that I prepared for you and write it down in your own notebook or your own personal space, because this is not just a 7-day meal plan. I'm not selling you guys a 7-day meal plan at all. I am trying to bring you to become more aware of your body, because our bodies are constantly communicating with us. Excuse me, but sometimes we just don't hear it. So I incorporate mindful eating into this whole entire 7-day process. The journal is going to help you recognize your cravings, your sugar cravings, whether it's sugar, salt, fried foods, whatever you're used to. It's also going to help you understand your moods, when you feel tired, when you feel more energized. It's also going to help you feel help you feel your body not feel so bloated, so full, but still feel satisfied after you eat. So the 7-day journal, there's prompts for each day in the 7-day journal that's going to help you become more aware of your internal systems, as well as what you're eating to go with this program. That's going to help you become more aware of your body and what your body's trying to communicate. We are all different. So we're all going to have different experiences. No one's is right or no one is wrong. It's your body. So what this reset is not, it is not a starvation diet. It is not a quick fix diet. It's not a weight loss diet, although that could be a bonus. You may lose a few pounds, but that's not what my focus is. I'm not counting carbs here, and it's not about perfection. And so within this 7 days, there's no shame and there's no guilt, because I leave room for it to be flexible to your likings as well. And that's going to help you stay the course. Okay. So, but what it is, of course, it is plant-based centered, and it's focused on whole foods, even though I did provide some lean protein options. But I'm encouraging to go fully plant-based. So it's beginner friendly as well. So the recipes are not complicated. They, they're pretty much beginner friendly. They're not complicated. You're not going to need 1,500 ingredients just to make one item, one food choice. And I think I said this in the other Zoom call we had the other day. By paying attention to your body, yes, I included breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But please, if you are not hungry, don't eat. Because then that's gonna lead to overeating. So if you wake up in the morning, because I'm not a big breakfast person myself, if I'm not hungry in the morning, I'm not gonna eat a breakfast. I may sip some tea, and things like that. Make sure I stay hydrated with water. But if I'm not hungry, I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat just because society says it's breakfast time. My body will tell me when I'm hungry. Okay. So what is included in this 7-day reset basically is nutrient whole dense foods. And all of these foods are created basically to help us internally, because our systems is already regulating itself, but we tend to put things in it that alters or hinders that process. So by removing the ultra processed foods, we are basically helping and supporting our body to do what our body is designed to do. So I did mention that. I wrote notes, y'all, so I can stay focused. So this 7-day reset, this is very important. This 7-day reset is, I do focus a lot on fiber, which is one of the vitamins that most women tend to lack. So it's very important to stay hydrated during this 7 days, because with the fiber intake, you're gonna need that water to help push things through, because without being hydrated, it can lead to gas, it can lead to bloating and feeling overly full. So please drink plenty of H2O during this reset. And also I've included some reset teas, and that can help you also stay hydrated. The teas are there to help support you during the reset. Let's see, what else do we have here? That's talking about fiber. Okay, so with the 7-day reset, I also included snacks. So throughout the 7 days, there's 9 snacks that you can choose from. And these are kind of like filler-ins between meals, or even if you're not fully hungry for a full meal, eat a snack. It's whole foods, it's plant-based, and it's not overly processed. It doesn't have all the preservatives, additives, not high in sugar, not high in salt. It's just a gentle snack to help support and crave those hunger cravings that you have. So one thing I do want to say as well is I've also included a seasoning guide. And the seasoning guide I put there, like I said, I want this to be flexible and I want you to stay the course. So, hey, you might be a better cook than me. So, and if you know a spice or anything that can go well with what I created, add it in there. Okay. But when you get to your blended spices, just be careful, because a lot of the blended spices include salt. So there is a spice chart in there that kind of tells you how to mix flavors and what goes with what, how to use citrus and things like that. So with the reset as well, it's important to look at the next day's menu, because there's a few of them in there where you will have to make like the overnight oats, the chia seed pudding. Those kind of have to be prepared the night before so they can sit and thicken overnight for in the morning. So those are important. So it's important to look at the next day menu just to make sure that, you know, anything that you need to prepare ahead of time. For instance, you can always prepare your grains, your quinoa. You can actually prepare them days ahead of time because we're busy. You know, we got families, kids, work, whatever we have going on. Life just happens, right? Life just fills us up with stuff, right? So having those things prepared ahead of time can definitely help you stay the course and can definitely make preparing your meals easier. So even if you want to wash all your vegetables, get all your vegetables cut up. That will definitely save a lot of time during prepping, and always keeping your healthy snacks around because temptation, he out there, okay? And if you're doing this 7-day reset, you best believe, okay, that is going to come in and tempt you, definitely, because you're doing something good and he don't like that. So keep a snack around. If you're out traveling, if you're out going somewhere, just grab you a snack, take you a snack, put it in your bag, because you just never know when that temptation is going to seep in. And even if you wanted to add, you know, some fruit, some watermelon, you know, I like to chew on cucumbers. I know, but I do. So cucumbers to me is a snack. And I know that's not in the plan, but like I said, it's still whole foods and I want you to stay the course. So it's not about restriction. I'm not the food police. I'm just here to gently support you and guide you during this reset to help your body do what your body needs to do to function to its best. And that's by eliminating processed foods and switching to whole foods. And then I do want to add as well, let me just say another thing. During this 7-day reset, please, if you need to contact me, I am going to be available. But if you do need to contact me, text me to my direct number, not the thread, so we don't bombard everyone. I think what I would do is get with Tiffany, because if there's a question that multiple people are asking, then we'll put that in the thread. But individual, personal questions or concerns or any experiences that you're having, please text me directly. On each video that I produce that you're going to get every day, my phone number is listed in that video. And that's the quickest and easiest way to get a hold of me, not through email. If you email me, I may not see that email because I have multiple email boxes and I work full time and I do YouTube channels on the side. So the best way to get a hold of me is through text. I think I covered most of it. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, sisters, if you have any questions, feel free to do so. I didn't have the chat up, and there's no questions in the chat. So, you know, if you have any questions, please feel free to either crack your mic or put it in the thread. But I will start with just one question. There was one time, I think in one of the videos, you talked about extra food left over. Are there redos? Like if you like a meal, can you redo that the next day if you'd like? If you have leftovers and you don't want to waste it, can you do that the next day? Type of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. You can switch up the meals. You don't even have to go in the exact plan. Like I said, we're not counting calories here. We're not. Beautiful. And the whole focus is to focus on whole foods. And I say that because, you know, a lot of this began when I did a 30-day challenge to myself. I did 30 days, only eating vegetable, fruits, and nuts. Okay. And I learned a lot about myself during those 30 days. Now, Would I have put a 30-day challenge, a 30-day reset out there? No, because a lot of people would not stay the course for 30 days. So I figured 7 days is a good enough, short enough time so that, the participants can experience some, it may be subtle, it may be minor, but some changes in their body, hopefully to encourage them to continue this afterwards. So, when I did my 30-day reset, my body changed. I mean, I was losing weight. I was also exercising as well. But I realized, like, wow, I'm still living. I didn't eat no meat, but I'm still alive. First of all, because becoming plant-based was not in my vision. It sort of kind of happened by accident, by the things that my body was experiencing. I felt less bloated. I felt lighter. I felt more energized. My perimenopause symptoms decreased significantly. I wasn't dealing with night sweats, hot flashes, and I'm thinking my skin got better. And I'm thinking all these things just from eating whole foods. So I stayed the course, and that gave me my why. So I became plant-based by accident, and I kept going. So what I'm hoping is that some of you, that maybe you all will experience some positive changes within your body that you are going to notice. And that's what the journal is there to help you, to pull those things out, because something may be so minor and you may not notice it, or you may notice it and forget to write it down, but you might forget about it. But if you write it down and you take note, then you're going to notice it. And then the questions are going to prompt you to pay attention to those things as well. And then you may notice those minor changes that can give you your why. If you continue to be fully plant-based, or if you just continue to include more plant-based foods into your diet, eliminating as much processed foods as possible.
Beautiful. Do you have a question, Trina?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for the overview. I'm excited to be part of this process. I do have a question because you brought up exercising, and I am trying to exercise, but I've been told by my trainer that I need to have X amount of protein every day. I know you're not counting calories, but are you counting? I know you're counting fiber, but are you counting protein content? And here's the second part of my question. Do you recommend during this reset that the person stops exercising?
No.
Okay.
Keep moving, keep exercising, and each meal has protein in it. Now the amount of protein in it, that I don't know offhand. But each meal definitely has protein in it. And if you need to add more protein to your diet, I'm not sure what your physical trainer suggested for you. I mean, I think that you can kind of calculate that with the ingredients. So that would totally be up to your discretion.
Okay, great. Thank you. I had another
Keep
question.
moving. Don't stop moving.
Right, right. Maybe not as intensely as I've been doing with the weights and such, because they want you to consume about 90 grams of protein every day. But yeah, that was one question. Now
I don't think you'll have a problem getting there, though.
Okay, great, great. I have a question about how often one should reset. I know the goal is to eat fewer processed foods or maybe even be plant-based 100%. But for those of us who are not there yet, or maybe I'm speaking for myself, I'm not there yet, but I'd be willing to do the 7-day reset. But I was wondering how often you should do that if you're not going to do a plant-based diet forever.
I think that is individual judgment. I believe that if you feel like you've been just eating unhealthy, or if you feel sluggish, if you feel bloated, If you are not having regular bowel movements, I believe that's when you should reset. I don't think that putting a time frame on it is going to benefit anyone. I think it's all about a person's individual lifestyle. This is how I eat every day. So I guess my reset is every day.
Gotcha.
So, but I don't want to put a time frame on it. I just, like if you went out of um, you went on vacation. We'll say you went on a cruise ship, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And you just threw down for 4 or 5 days because the buffet and all that stuff is free. So, and you threw
Yeah.
down and you get home and you feeling bloated, you're feeling heavy, you notice you're starting to have cravings, and you're eating out of emotions or out of impulse, then maybe you need to slow down and recalculate things and reset.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also one thing, it was interesting that you asked, Trina, because, Abiyah and I kind of briefly planted the seed of maybe doing another one together at some point. One thing that I know from my experience, holidays, like you said, after these times where we're doing a lot of eating outside of what we would normally eat, holidays, after the holidays, I know I was looking forward to this reset since Pesach, since Passover, all that unleavened bread and all that stuff. So I think, those are great times to reset. But one rule for me, I really like to reset during the transition seasons from the summer to the fall, and then from spring to the summer. You know what I mean? Like around springtime, because those are the transition months. Because as we get into the colder months, our bodies start to prepare for the colder weather. And maybe the reset would even be different. I'm not sure. That would be something that we would maybe chat about. But then in the spring, of course, we tend to eat lighter, more fresher foods. I know also in the winter time, it's not really good to eat a lot of cold, raw foods all the time. So even if we're eating whole foods and it's mainly plant-based, you're going to add some level of a heating element to the foods to make sure you're not putting that cold energetic inside the body, which can also cause stagnation in the digestion, especially in the colder months. Everything starts to slow down. But in the warmer months, more fruits, raw vegetables, things like that. So that's a seed that's planted. And, I'm down if you're down. So, we will cross that bridge when we get there. But outside of that, I think if we don't have any other questions, I mean, this was really for you all to ask any last minute questions, for those who hadn't met Abiyah yet, to meet her, and everybody else. We're accessible anyway. So, but it was just to have a nice face-to-face dialogue and to get some direct information. But if all hearts and minds are clear, we are good to go. Just remember your water. Drink your water because you got a lot of fiber in these meals. And don't forget your scriptural meditation and your movement. Yes, ma'am.
You froze.
And did I froze? Did I froze?
No,
froze
I
for a little
got a
bit,
question.
Oh, okay. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You said about drinking water. I drink water with electrolytes.
Yes.
Is that something that's good?
Did I freeze? I'm sorry, did I freeze?
No, you didn't freeze. I thought somebody said I froze.
No.
No. Water with electrolytes is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, you are totally fine. As far as protein is concerned, your level of activity is not going to cause that much muscle breakdown where you have to be too concerned. Do you already have a protein regimen already in place?
Pretty much, but I'll eat meat or poultry or do protein drinks or eggs.
So now if you have some structural components to your nutrition, I mean, there are other protein options in there as well, which should match what you're already eating. I don't know if red meat is in there, but I do know there's lean meats in there, like their poultry and your fish. But there's also your protein shakes as well. So if you feel like you're not getting enough, I would definitely double up on your protein shakes. If anything, you can add more protein. Yes, absolutely. So, all right. You're welcome. Yes. All right, ladies. Well, it looks like we are off to the races. Day 1 is tomorrow. So make sure you check your text thread every day. We will be resuming again on Wednesday, the 20th. Same bat time, I don't know, I think it might be the same bat station. Let me check really quick. But we do have, and check the thread for the actual times. But we will be meeting again on Wednesday. Yep, same time. So, and that's for your halfway check-in. If you have any questions, concerns, like I said, in between. And, you know, we'll have some time in, so I'm sure you'll really be able to have some experiences, hopefully, to even share. All right, so looking forward to it.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Absolutely, you can.
Most importantly, ladies, have fun. Enjoy the process. It's your friend. Have fun. Enjoy the process. Please do not stress yourself out. Okay, we don't want stress. So have fun with the process. Have fun on this journey. Look at the positive aspects of this journey and just have fun. Have fun in the kitchen. And that's another good thing about my program. Not only am I passionate about nutrition, I know how to cook. So, okay. And if you do decide to stay the course after the 7 days, I do have a YouTube channel where I show simple and easy plant-based meals that is beginner friendly.
I've seen them. They're very nice. And I mean, you have a lot of fun stuff. You even show how to make spices and stuff. So if you haven't, and, you know, maybe, you know, we'll make sure you get all that information. So there's no excuses not to really dive in and really take hold of this experience. So, you know, we're in it together. So let's do this, ladies. All right. Until then, may Yahuwah bless and keep everyone. Have a beautiful start to your week. As we like to say, Shova Tov, good week. Hallelujah. And Ahava Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Ahava Shalom.
Ahava Shalom.